Some detention centers aren't solely designed to detain individuals. They're meant to crush their spirits. Nestled deep within the planet's most secluded regions, these institutions are infamous for their brutal methods. Complete isolation, harsh and unimaginable living environments. Here, merely surviving becomes the true punishment. Brace yourself for a chilling journey into Tuol Sleng, a place that'll haunt your soul. Once a lively high school in Phnom Penh, it morphed into Cambodia's darkest nightmare, a prison where fear ruled. Every room became a catalog of terror, with names, faces, and fates meticulously recorded. Now a museum, its eerie silence screams history. Rusted beds and faded photos pull you into a past that refuses to fade. Tuol Sleng didn't just confine, it erased lives with bone-chilling precision. Get ready for a spine-chilling dive into Guantanamo Bay, a place that redefines controversy. Hidden on Cuban soil, this high-security camp was built for the worst of the worst, yet its shadowy tactics ignite global outrage. Ex-detainees reveal endless interrogations, soul-crushing solitary confinement, and relentless uncertainty designed to break the mind. Shrouded in secrecy, its walls guard more mysteries than truths. Guantanamo's terror lies not just in its known horrors, but in the chilling unknowns that linger behind its gates. Prepare to be stunned by ADX Florence, the Alcatraz of the Rockies, where isolation redefines punishment. This fortress cages America's most notorious in soundproofed concrete cells, locked down 23 hours a day. Meals slide through slots, human contact a ghost. Every minute is ruthlessly structured, turning time into a mind-bending abyss. No chaos, just suffocating silence that screams louder than violence. In this eerie quiet, the mind unravels, trapped in a relentless void that's as intense as it gets. Buckle up for a chilling trip to Red Onion, Virginia's supermax fortress buried in the Appalachians. Built for the most dangerous, it's a place where time crawls under iron control. Inmates are locked in tiny cells for weeks, even months, with zero real contact. Every move is calculated, every second controlled. Beneath the eerie calm lies a suffocating silence that hits harder than any sound. This isn't just confinement, it's a haunting, soul-crushing quiet that echoes endlessly. Hold on tight for a bone-chilling glimpse into Kwanlisa No. 16, North Korea's shadowy prison camp buried in Hwasong's mountains. Unacknowledged yet terrifyingly real, it's less a prison, more a sealed-off city where identity and time dissolve. Ex-detainees whisper of relentless surveillance, grueling routines, and zero rest, with no trials or end in sight. Total isolation grips you, forcing the outside world to fade into a distant memory. This isn't just confinement, it's a haunting erasure of existence. Buckle up for a spine-chilling plunge into Saidnia, Syria's fortress of shadows near Damascus. This isn't just a prison, it's where people vanish into a void of secrecy and eerie silence. Ex-detainees reveal days without sunlight, paralyzing fear of missteps, and a disorienting maze designed to dominate. Every detail feels coldly calculated, defying time and justice. Saidnia doesn't just hold you, it haunts you, its grip lingering long after escape. Strap in for a chilling ride into Tadmur, the desert fortress turned nightmare in ancient Palmyra. Once a simple fort, it morphed into a brutal prison for political captives, where ironclad routines felt like punishment itself. Insiders say even guards dreaded its eerie silence. Tadmur's unpredictable atmosphere and suffocating control left souls shaken. Though closed and ruined, its haunting legacy clings to the sands, whispering tales of terror that time can't erase. Get set for a jaw-dropping peek into Evin Prison, nestled in Tehran's Alborz Mountains, where whispers of terror outshine its quiet facade. Housing writers, activists, and political voices, often clueless about their crimes. It's a maze of unpredictable routines and soul-draining solitude. Ex-inmates say the outside world feels like a dream. With clockwork schedules, minimal movement, and scarce contact, Evan's heavy silence outweighs any noise, charging the air with unrelenting tension that grips you tight. Hold on for a heart-stopping glimpse into La Cour de Promenade, the chilling courtyard of France's high-security prisons. This stark, sky-exposed cage offers no escape, only relentless isolation. Inmates pace alone, hemmed in by cold concrete, where every step echoes confinement. It's not just a yard, it's a brutal extension of the sentence, designed for reflection and rigid routine. One visit and you'll feel the suffocating weight of solitude that lingers like a shadow. Brace yourself for a jaw-dropping dive into Bang Kwang Central Prison, Thailand's so-called Bangkok Hilton that's anything but glamorous. Tucked just outside the capital, this fortress holds long-term and high-risk inmates in a grip where time drags painfully slow. Confined in cramped quarters, prisoners face unchanging routines and stifling heat. Ex-inmates say the early days break you, with rigid meal schedules and an eerie stillness that dominates. In Bangkwang, time doesn't pass. It stretches into eternity.
Get ready for a pulse-pounding peek into La Modelo, Colombia's infamous prison in Bogota that's a legend in its own right. Packed with history, from political chaos to suffocating overcrowding, it's a place where order teeters on the edge. Split into factions with their own rules and power plays, La Modelo hums with constant noise and cramped chaos. Ex-inmates describe a tense rhythm where routine clashes with the ever-looming threat of sudden upheaval. Here, nothing's ever truly predictable. Strap in for a spine-chilling trip to Butyrka, Moscow's ancient prison pulsing with centuries of secrets. Born in the 1800s, it's housed rebels and modern inmates in cramped, crowded cells where time feels frozen. Echoing corridors and ironclad routines create an intense vibe of isolation and control. Ex-inmates say the air's thick with history, as if the walls themselves whisper every grim tale they've witnessed. Modern updates can't shake Butyrka's heavy, haunting grip. Past and present collide relentlessly. Get ready for a bone-chilling dive into Vladimir Central, Russia's legendary prison steeped in eerie lore. Known for caging political and high-profile inmates, its stark, imposing walls pulse with history's weight. Daily life is a grueling, repetitive grind, more survival than routine. Ex-inmates speak of a haunting stillness where quiet pressure suffocates. It's not chaos, but the relentless repetition, endless waiting, and stark isolation that break the spirit, making Vladimir Central a place of unnerving, soul-crushing calm. Brace yourself for a chilling peek into Goldani Prison, Georgia's deceptive fortress that hides a ruthless core. Behind its plain facade lies a world of ironclad discipline that sparked global alarm. Inmates face rigid routines under relentless scrutiny, where silence stretches hours into days. Privacy? Non-existent. Predictability? A myth. Goldani's not just confinement, it's a mental maze where rules shift, but control never wavers. It's eerily calm, yet never comforting, leaving a haunting mark on every soul. Get ready for a jaw-dropping trip into La Santé, Paris's chilling prison hiding amid charming cafes. Behind its walls, isolation rules in stark, silent cells that test the mind's limits. Inmates endure days without contact, trapped in a quiet that suffocates. Though renovated, its haunting vibe persists. Ex-prisoners describe time crawling, the outside world fading into a distant dream. La Santé isn't loud chaos. It's a relentless, eerie calm that grips your soul and never lets go. Buckle up for a heart-pounding dive into Maze Prison's H-blocks, a nerve-wracking cornerstone of Northern Ireland's turbulent past. Built for ultimate control, its segmented ironclad design locked inmates into rigid schedules and suffocating confinement. The air buzzed with political tension, turning concrete walls into symbols of relentless pressure. Maze wasn't just a prison, it was a battleground of resistance and psychological strength, where every moment felt heavier than the stone itself, leaving an unforgettable mark. Strap in for a gut-wrenching look at Gitarama, where overcrowding turns prison into a living nightmare. Built for a handful, it's crammed thousands into suffocating spaces where even standing is a luxury. The real terror? Relentless uncertainty. Ex-inmates recall days blending into a haze, privacy a cruel joke, and every step a gamble. Despite reforms, Gitarama's crushing atmosphere lingers, a stark reminder that extreme confinement morphs into something far darker than any cell could hold. Deep in Kinshasa's shadows lurks something unimaginable: Makala Central Prison. You've never witnessed anything like this nightmare, thousands crammed into spaces meant for hundreds, creating a suffocating human maze where survival isn't guaranteed. Forget everything you think you know about prison life. This is pure psychological warfare. Inmates vanish into themselves, desperately clinging to invisibility while time becomes their cruelest enemy. Every breath is calculated, every movement strategic. This isn't just incarceration, it's a twisted game where sanity hangs by the thinnest thread imaginable. Prepare yourself for Egypt's most chilling fortress, Scorpion Prison. This isn't your typical lockup, it's a human burial ground for the living. Picture this: concrete tombs where sunlight never dares to enter, where silence becomes your only companion. They call it the Forgotten Zone for good reason. Once you're swallowed by these walls, the world erases you completely. Every whisper echoes like a ghostly scream through endless corridors. Time doesn't just crawl here, it completely stops breathing. This terrifying vault makes other maximum security facilities look like summer camps. Welcome to America's most notorious island nightmare, Rikers Island.
Just minutes from Manhattan, yet it might as well be another planet entirely. You think you've seen chaos? Think again. This isn't just a prison, it's a pressure cooker ready to explode at any second. Thousands trapped in a swirling storm of unpredictability where silence equals danger and noise spells disaster. Every heartbeat could trigger mayhem in this concrete jungle where sanity goes to die. The cruel irony? Freedom sits tantalizingly close across the water, yet feels impossibly distant. Rikers doesn't just imprison bodies, it devours souls completely. Brace yourself for Pakistan's most suffocating fortress, Central Jail Lahore. These ancient stone giants have witnessed horrors you can't imagine. Step inside this medieval nightmare where tradition becomes torture and silence screams louder than any chaos. Thousands crushed together in spaces that suffocate dreams and crush spirits. This isn't just overcrowding, it's human compression at its most brutal. Every corridor whispers tales of desperation while iron discipline crushes every spark of hope. Time doesn't just stop here, it becomes your personal executioner.
Welcome to where Pakistan's forgotten souls slowly disappear into nothingness. Don't let appearances fool you. Santo Domingo prison is pure deception wrapped in concrete. What looks ordinary from outside transforms into absolute mayhem within these treacherous walls. You've never experienced uncertainty like this twisted labyrinth where rules change faster than heartbeats. Every section operates like its own dangerous kingdom with zero predictability. One moment brings false peace, the next unleashes complete pandemonium. This isn't just imprisonment, it's psychological Russian roulette where survival depends on reading invisible signals. Welcome to the ultimate mind game, where tension simmers constantly beneath the surface, ready to erupt without warning. Welcome to Myanmar's most suffocating nightmare, Inside Prison. This colossal fortress doesn't just steal your freedom, it literally crushes your soul into dust. Picture thousands packed like sardines in a concrete tomb where fresh air becomes a distant memory. You think you know claustrophobia? Think again. Every breath is rationed, every step monitored in this human compression chamber. This isn't just overcrowding, it's systematic human crushing at its most brutal. Welcome to where hope goes to die and time becomes your personal torture device. Inside transforms living humans into walking ghosts trapped in perpetual suffocation. Prepare for North Korea's most horrifying secret, Camp 22. This isn't just a prison, it's a human deletion center that erases entire bloodlines from existence. Hidden in forbidden mountains, this nightmare facility swallows families whole, treating generations like collective crimes. You've never imagined horror like this invisible hell where reality itself gets murdered. Escapees whisper tales of systematic soul destruction through endless terror and complete isolation from humanity. This secret apocalypse operates in total darkness, no contact, no hope, no escape. Welcome to Earth's most terrifying black hole where humans simply vanish forever. Enter Venezuela's ultimate survival nightmare, La Sabaneta Prison. Forget everything you know about law and order, because this hellhole operates on pure jungle rules. Picture thousands of desperate souls crammed into a collapsing concrete wasteland where guards become spectators and inmates become warlords. This isn't imprisonment, it's gladiatorial warfare disguised as justice. Every breath could be your last as power shifts faster than lightning strikes. Welcome to the ultimate human experiment where civilization dies and primal instincts rule supreme. La Sabaneta doesn't just break rules, it completely obliterates the concept of order itself. Welcome to China's most chilling mind control experiment, Xinjiang's re-education centers. These aren't prisons, they're human reprogramming factories designed to delete your very soul. Imagine massive concrete laboratories where entire cultures get systematically erased through relentless brainwashing. This isn't just detention, it's identity assassination on an industrial scale. Every camera becomes a weapon, every word monitored, every thought policed in this terrifying social engineering nightmare. Welcome to where free will goes to die and personalities get completely rewritten. These facilities don't just imprison bodies, they manufacture new humans from scratch. Welcome to Libya's most haunting nightmare, Abu Salim Prison. This fortress of forbidden silence doesn't just imprison bodies, it erases entire human existences from history. Picture a terrifying black hole where thousands vanish
vanish without trace, leaving families desperately searching for ghosts. This isn't just detention, it's systematic human deletion disguised as justice. Every scream gets swallowed by these cursed walls where time freezes and hope dies eternally. Welcome to the ultimate question mark that haunts Libya's soul, a place where people simply disappear into nothingness. Abu Salim doesn't just break spirits, it completely erases them from existence. Discover Uzbekistan's most terrifying desert nightmare, Jazlik Prison, the House of Wind. Built from Soviet military bones, this hellish fortress sits abandoned in endless wasteland where civilization fears to tread. You've never experienced isolation like this frozen, scorched torture chamber where nature itself becomes your executioner. Picture souls trapped between bone-crushing cold and flesh-melting heat, while complete silence drives minds to absolute madness. This isn't just imprisonment, it's planetary exile disguised as justice. Welcome to Earth's most forgotten corner where humans vanish into desert winds. Jazlik doesn't just break prisoners, it completely erases them from memory.